This is me, Zacchaeus, and I'm wanting to do an update on the video that I did in 2013, late 2013, um, of the movie in the man-made world. This is 2016. I'm still sometimes get comments to that video, and I'm surprised. Been on YouTube for a long time. I think everybody, even the haters, to come on my channel to watch all the videos since then to now. Okay, a lot of improvement, a lot of and just so anybody know. When I was talking fast on certain videos, I'm bipolar, and the medication was on slow me down. Sometimes it didn't. Also, too, usually when I'm on the videos, would talk fast because I do drugs. No, not illegal drugs. I'm a caffeine. Caffeine's a drug. I'm a caffeine addict. So, like tonight, I can't even drink caffeine because it's at midnight and I have to go to donate plasma. So sometimes when I drink caffeine, I get very hyper. That the reason I do it because I have to do it for concentration issues. So that's the reason why. So if y'all seen the old videos of me talking fast, you can understand what I'm saying. The other time I'm bipolar type 1, and it's part of my side effects. Also, I was high on caffeine sometimes, drinking coffee or something, and that normally makes me go faster. So, but let me do a story about the video for in the man-made world. I don't know Joshua Vargas for in a minute. I saw the article. I saw the article on Houston Press, and I always wanted to know because I heard stories about the two Candyman stories that happened in the 70s here in Harris County. The Candyman story that I heard as a child is totally different from the Candyman story that I did on the video about the in Madman's world. You have to understand that during the 70s, there was two stories about what I was told as a child. I mentioned in the video that the dad who killed his son through the insurance during Halloween. That was a Candyman story. Called him Candyman as well because he gave his son that tall, and he used to eat that stuff when I was in the 80s and 90s. The sugary stuff he put in tall sticks. He gave his son that candy, and the next thing he was trying to get money from his insurance. And that's a totally different story. Although it happened in Pasadena, and Dean Coral did live in Pasadena, they're totally different stories. Okay, I'm glad that that's HBO. Excuse me. ABC Channel 13 covered the story like in 2015 or late 2014, around that time, to talk about the story about what happened in 1975. I think it was 1975. It was 40 years. That I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. The Halloween story, but the Candyman story is about Dean Coral because Dean Coral's mother used to sell candy, and he took part of his mother's business. He was a military person. He got kicked out because of sexual innuendo in the military base. Lived in Via, Texas. Oh Lord, which is KK town. Okay, for a while, and then he came to the Heights. I think he lived in Pasadena in the Heights for a couple times, and he sold candy. And he sold candy to young boys and young men in order to, and also to get them to try to kill them, rape them, kill them. Okay, that's the whole reason why Joshua Vargas called the movie in the man-made world, because this man was known in the community. I literally know to do an update on this as well. During that time, I watched documentaries about Dean Coral, and like everyone was saying in those documentaries that this man was a known guy and very nice guy, not a nice guy. What happened he did, but to people it was a false version of him where people thought that he would never do such a thing. He helped people in their cars, But no, I mean, this is a wake-up call. This is 1970s now, okay? It's not 1990s where we now know about these type of stories. This is time where everybody talk about the old good old days, okay? So, and especially in Texas, all the older people who was in the 70s, I'm on 79, so I don't remember as a child. But everybody from my, the older generation that I grew up, oh, we never heard about raping nobody's child, all that stuff. And I would let people know as a liberal, people don't understand that back in the days, children was told to be seen, not to be heard. You go to any celebrities today, and they'll talk about being abused, physically, sexually, and all that other stuff. So that's the reason why back in those days you didn't hear that. Okay, children wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, and everybody always believed the adult over the child. Don't get me wrong, there are false stories out there, but sometimes they're not always false stories. And especially in those days, children, like I said, you kept your mouth shut. You had to be obedient. And I'm not saying be obedient is not a good thing, but don't obey the bad person. Be the good person. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell when I get married and have children, I will always tell my children to skirn. Do not always go alone because you know what I'm saying. So that's the reason why. So that's just to let you know. That's why when they heard about these murders and rapes in the heights in Pasadena, Dean Coral, people did not. This is the South, okay? So, and this is, even though this is like right after the civil rights movement and the hippies and all that stuff, and people still really believe in old school, even though they had bad situations with relationship issues and everything, and social issues as well, and times were changing. People still had that mindset, this is a good old age, you don't hear about folks doing it to kids and all that, okay? So that's, what I'm saying, this is the so-called, and I'm not a Protestant, no offense to anybody, the so-called Bible, okay? So that's the reason why the people still, to this day, okay? Let me get to the story, okay? A lot of folks have commented to my video, and I had a recent person, and I'm not mentioning their name because it's done to be in gossip. They kind of disagree with Joshua Vargas, and I'm letting everyone know that I do not know the directors. I don't know Joshua Vargas from day one. I saw his article on Houston Press back in 2013. And the reason why I did the videos because it was around the time that he was asking for help on the video, and this is the church in which his father passed away in Channelview. When I put two to a story, and I'm very smart by putting two stories together, and I just had read, because I had the article laying around, and I just happened to read it, and next thing I get, I'll see on Channel 11 about his father's death at the same time. And this was when Mr. Vargas was asking for people to donate money for the situation what happened to his father's and the FEMA Rangers and everything else. And I had to, and this is when he was trying to make the film. And I also watched the interview that he had on his channel from Channel 26 here in Houston. Out of the kindness of my heart, because I'm a struggling actor, singer, actor, model myself. And I also mentioned that we both have multiracial backgrounds. Joshua Vargas is part Latino and part white. I'm multiracial. My background's African American. You already know. I say this all the time because people love to assume and what I'm saying. My background's African American, and Native American and Caucasian, which I have Irish, French, and English in my DNA and my ancestry. And I do not deny my roots. I felt that for both multiracial men who are trying to become in the entertainment industry in Houston, from Houston, to help each other out. I'm very big about that. I help anybody out, but when it comes to struggling artists and those with mixed DNA, I'm very big on that, supporting, and that's why I'm a big Mariah Carey fan, big Vin Diesel, Rock, Tyson Belfer, Shamar Moore supporter, okay? Okay, so that's why, okay? Tiger Woods, exactly, okay? Support anybody who's in our, because I've been supporting the multiracial movement since I was a teenager. So to see this man, because, he looks Caucasian, but he's part Latino, part Mexican, okay? a little research on Joshua Vargas. I don't want to help me. And me gusta cultura Latino, me gusta cultura Latina. So therefore, and our Latin brothers are like mixed themselves. Latin brothers and sisters are mixed themselves as well. Part of as a mixed, that's why I say part of the mixed race, people as well. That's why I reach art. So so that's why as a minority to minority, a multiracial person to multiracial person, it's hard to be in this business, in the entertainment industry. That's the reason why I think y'all political. But at the same time, I want to know, and me coming from Houston, this story that happened in the 70s, where the sick man who, talking about Dean Coral, what he did to, Lord, what he did to these young men in Houston. And this story is not told. I have not heard of any movie, anyone from Hollywood, which is Hollywood loves to get their money involved, have not even promoted any movie about that. Never done a movie about that. We always hear other stories. I'm waiting for. I mean, they did a movie about what's his name? What's the one that was eating people? Yeah, they did a movie about that. I watched that movie on HBO. I never forget that, and I never did understand the whole narrative of what's his name? Oh Lord. Y'all know the serial killer, the one that got killed in the 90s in jail after he became a born again Christian. God dog it. In Minnesota somewhere. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I forgot his name. Anyway, he was eating up people and stuff. The sickening had her in the so they done movies about that. I saw Helter Skelter in the 80s, the edited version on Channel 26. It was made in the 70s, about Charles Manson. So this is a movie, and I felt that Joshua Vargas the idea was to make a movie about this from Houston. Hopefully, even though that this man did never contact me and thank me for making this video to honor of his father, because my prayers go out to the family. I did not know them personally. I was not trying to exploit nothing like that. It's none of my character. And also to help him, get support for the movie that he wanted to make. And I see that it's finally in action, or either probably already made in 2016. I'm waiting for it to come on with Netflix. I don't support Netflix. There's no such about that. I'll make a video about that if you want me to do a video about that. But let me go ahead and say it, because with Adam Sandler did to many American people, many was Native American, and an old Netflix later on because I had money issues. I said, forget, let him cancel my order, and I don't support Adam Sandler's movie, and I'm very mad at Terry Crews supporting that movie with Adam Sandler. Y'all know the whole big story about many Native American actors left that set, and as a person with Native American DNA, mixed DNA, I had to support that. Okay, you know that. Okay, but maybe I'll go back with Netflix. I'm trying to get Hulu Plus, because Hulu Plus had Empire and everything, and I missed a lot of episodes on that. Okay. So my friends were telling me, you should go to Hulu Plus, leaving Netflix alone. So, yeah. But anyway, whenever the movie comes out, I'm ready to support. Not support. I know that the person who criticized Vargas and said there's issues between him and Mr. Wayne, who was one of the guys who knew Dean Coral, and actually is locked up because his participation in the situation. And I don't think in my video, I want everyone to know that I don't fault Wayne at all. Wayne Henley did not know. I want everyone to know that. It was not to know. He was a teenager at the time, doing the fact that Dean Coral was paying him to see, meet these young men, act like they're going to a party and set them up and get them killed. And when Dean Coral tried to turn against him, he had to kill him. He actually was scared. One thing I understand that folks understand, and I wasn't there at the time. I wasn't even involved since 1979. But I should take psychology. I passed it in online school, on my university. Remember, I'm an online student. It was okay. I'm trying to go back into school because to grading issues. That's why I'm waiting on my appeal to come back to school on his computer. that you gotta understand, this person who has psychological issues, because I'm bipolar, you gotta understand, they were scared of this man. I don't know about David Brooks, but they were scared. Wayne Henry was scared of this man. That's why he killed him many times. If someone big military guy, and remember, and I want that to point out that Dean Core was hyper masculine. Okay, so y'all stop stereotyping. This man who was big, who was dangerous, who was sick in the head, who know how to kill a person. In the military, you have to learn how to kill a person, kill the enemy to his death. Okay, that's why that he killed the Dean Core to his, coming from his example. And my grandfather served in my dad's side served in Korea. Okay. Even though he didn't teach me this, I guess by example, you have to make sure the person is dead in order to know that you won. Okay, so for example, I used the fact of killing roaches or wasps on my video about that. And yes, when I do see them, I'm not like those insects. I do go with the spray, wasp spray or roach spray, and make sure that thing is dead. I'm not gonna sit here and wait till the next thing it still has been immune to the product. And I never served in the military. I almost went to the military, got deferred because I have asthma and psychiatric issues. So yeah, yes, I know it's weird. It's the person I am. When I was the job pro, when I had issues with the job corps situation, trying to go to job corps in 2001. That's tell my big story on this video. And I was dealing with issue with my grandparents. Then I wanted to live with them in 2002. I was trying to go to the military, go to the Air Force, and I got deferred because I have asthma and also my psychiatric issues. The depression and suicide. They did not want me on there in case something happened. And even the recruiter in downtown told me, we don't take people with suicide. No, we don't even want that here. Okay? So just go to another one. I'm not going to deal with that because, I'm like, excuse me, I'm going through a lot of issues with my family. I ain't going to go detail that. And I'm in my 20s trying to get my life together, and people, it's like they want me, as I always tell people, the system to me now, want me to be dependable on family members at an adult age. I don't live like that. I want them to be independent, so they don't depend on me. I depend on them, whatever. I don't depend on them, okay? So that's why. So anyway, but I know that if you're fighting an enemy, God forbid, let's say so I have a pistol, and God forbid somebody comes in my apartment, I'm not gonna sit here and try to shoot the person. And they could have the ability to still move, try to attack me. I'm gonna make sure I shot them to their weak. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what Wayne Henley did to Dean Core, because he knew that's a military tactic. If I'm in a war in Afghanistan and I'm not gonna sit here and just shoot the person. I gotta make sure the enemy is dead. You know what I'm saying? In order to be relieved. So that's how exactly. So. Dean Coral was in the military and got, rejected, later on because, got kicked out because of his, I don't know if he was sexual harassing the men on the place, whatever. But when he started working for his mother, and one thing that I wanted to cover is, I did research on Dean Coral. This man, I always tell people, this man was abused. I don't know about sexual part, but I know that due his childhood, his mother was, I think, married 3 times, and one of the stepfathers were abusive. So please, y'all, here we go, another episode, someone being abused, and doing the same thing to someone else. Stop abusing your kids. Stop having folks abusing your kids and think that it's going to help them out when it's not. This is one big example. Okay, if you don't want your child to have psychiatric disorders or any other situations, and it's a bipolar type 1, I know, coming from an abusive family and abusive people as well. That's why I'm very non-tolerant, and zero tolerance for people abusive. Even on the job, I see the ugly attitude that comes out. Someone yells at me, you'll get emotional abusive towards me. Stop, please. Y'all scandalize your kids, thinking that they're kids. That the kids that's going to be successfully stop, please. Learn other ways of raising your kids instead of being abusive to them. Okay, so reading about that, yes, when his father was very abusive. So same thing with the Ramirez guy in California that lived in El Paso, Texas. Y'all know what I'm talking about, and that's why his father was in the military, very abusive, and he turned. Y'all know the guy Ramirez, Richard Ramirez. He turned into Satanism, and ever since then it corrupted his mind. Okay, so please, y'all stop doing that to your children. Can you please stop doing that to your children? If you don't want serial killers, you don't want people with psychiatric disorders and people who have all this stuff, stop scandalizing your kids. Sorry to go there, but I had to let you know. So, going back to this situation. Okay, that's why a lot of kids that come were very violent, who are, I bet, that's something that got no discipline. Besides that part, someone's abusing those kids. The mother, father, all this other stuff, okay? And, so whoever is doing that, please stop being selfish and stop, defending the abusive parent because they have a type of title. I am not for that. I'm very against that. Anyway, so doing more research during that time on my phone because I didn't have a computer then. Dean Coral, yes. So, I don't know if in the self-harm is sexually abusive because I'm assuming that's how probably he got this type of mentality. And not everybody that's sexually abused, does, repeat the same motive to someone else when they get older. But it has a slight situation. So I want to let y'all know, please, okay? Hopefully, when I said what comes to, what goes in dark comes to light. And this is what happened with the murders. When knowing I know what happened to these boys and these young men, and that's when Wayne Henley had to deal with Dean Coral trying to turn against him. He had to kill, Wayne Henley. He had to get to kill Dean Coral for his self-defense. And that's when David Brooks spoke things about, oh yeah, he participated in this and that. And I'm glad the person who criticized the whole movie was telling me that, and I responded back to him, and he said that everybody blamed Wayne Henry as, for media press, and it does seem right, because I do disagree with Vargas on that when he said on the interview that he would not, or he let Wayne Henry out of prison. No, he wouldn't, and I said no. I'm sorry. Yes, he will. I would. Let me say this why. Because the man was scared. The man was a teenager himself, and one thing that when you're young, even though it was sick to set this type of offer to do this for this man, first, way before the murders and the rapes and everything, Dean Coral paid David Brooks and Wayne Henley to go ahead and try to work for him while he's doing the candy business. And to go extra mile, this when Dean Coral got sick in the head to try to recruit young men and boys to the area in order to get them to lie, saying I'm going to do drugs and party and all other stuff, meet girls and stuff, and then that's when they raped and killed it, And so they was getting paid extra money to do this. But at the same time, while I was getting extra paid money, which is, of course, is wrong on their behalf to take the offer, they also was scared this big 37-year-old man who was doing this, okay? This was not no a weak person, or, this is a, sick in the head, very hypermasculine man with with homosexual tendencies towards young boys and young men. Okay, so they're boys themselves, teenage boys, and they're scared to death if they go to the police. This man, and remember, like I said earlier in this video, this man had a reputation that everybody thought that Dean Coral was a good man. He always helped out people who needed help. You know what I'm saying? He was a good candy man in the neighborhood. And that's how, everyone knew him. They did not know this other side of people. And I'm not glad this situation happened to anybody, the victim of the family members. Me say this. I'm glad this has been exposed. That you cannot trust everything. This is back in the 70s. It's not 1990s and 80s when I grew up when everybody was saying don't talk to strangers. This was the 70s when people, and this is the time that after the 60s, everybody had this ideology that this is the good old days. You can keep your door unlocked and go to a store. No, you cannot trust the average person. And I know it's for example because I know one particular case, and I'm not going to go in detail, a woman who killed her boyfriend, heinously killed her boyfriend, and she was on the news, and I personally knew this woman. Now, I didn't know about the situation, but I thought this woman was, a happy-go-lucky person. She always out there smoking a cigarette, but her and the person had this rocky relationship to a point she got some people to do a heinous kill, and when they put two and two together, she was exposed, and I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, you cannot always, you don't know a person's, just because someone's nice, in your face, and I know from being bullied and mistreated and stabbed in the back, you don't know what type of person they are behind closed door. They can be an evil person once they, you go, and you know what I'm saying? So that lets you know, y'all, this was the 70s. To hear this in 2000, and people to this day still are gullible, okay? So this is a prime example of this situation. You cannot trust anyone. And here in Texas, back in those days, in the 70s, 60s, and 50s, because I grew up with older people. That's how I know that mentality. All the good old days, and that's why they think that this time the world coming to the end. I was just telling somebody yesterday, you cannot say that. I'm not saying the world, God makes a decision, not us, okay? Even Jesus said that in the preach. But you cannot sit in and take one event and say that, because even in the 60s and the 50s, I'll be horrified living those Jim Crow days with the KK. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't look like my white ancestor, okay? So, I get tired of those people of color, the people African Americans, who especially come from evangelical households, but they will always say, oh, it's the good old days and that. Oh, the world coming to an end. I said, excuse me. If you was living before the Civil War, you probably were horrified. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So I bring up those events in order to wake people up. No, I mean that's what I'm saying. When if Trump becomes president, I will cross the Rio Grande. Yes, I would do like the my Black Seminole people did, cross Rio Grande. I'm not gonna be here in Houston. During the awakening of the destruction of America, should I say, if Donald Trump wins the seat, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, my point is, but then back in the 70s, they hear the old school people, yeah, back then we used to, keep our door unlocked and nobody would come in, you can keep your car. No, that was the time to let y'all know you cannot trust anybody. In this situation with Dean Coral, lets you know that you keep nah. So I wish, and one thing, the millennials and us Generation X people, we know that mentality, and we know we see people, we read a person way before, the hypocrisy when they try to preach, you know what I'm saying? So that's exactly. Everybody told me, you have a hard head, and I do have a hard head, because I know if a person, I can tell by their action and with their mentality, they cannot fool me, okay? So, so we discern, before we take the process. I'm in school before, of course, I discern a lot, okay? So that's why that I'm making this video, is that, the reason why I'm bringing this up as well, that's the whole reason why I want to watch this movie. Even though even though Joshua Vargas did not reach out to me and thank me for making the video about his situation and everything, I'm fine with that. Personally, my personality and his personality were not, as friendship or either associates. There's some things on his channel that scares me. Okay, so but just this is the only person that I know of who's interested in knowing about this movie. To those in Houston who's interested, I don't know nothing about me one-on-one knows about Vargas. So I do not want to get into any more chisme, any more drama between Mr. Wayne and Mr. Vargas. Please do not get me Zacarias involved in it. It's too close to home. If it was in Hollywood, trust me, I wouldn't care, because I don't know Anybody in Hollywood, I always talk about celebrities besides politics on my doggone channel. You know what I'm saying? But, I will support. And some just tell me, I don't want to get involved in the drama. It's just that if I do a Skype or anything interview, live interview with anybody of that story, because I'm interested in the story more than the drama between Vargas or Mr. Wayne. I'm more in about the story because I want to know, this is from, this is historical in Houston area. And many people who grew up in the 70s want to see this movie. I don't know why it's taking a long time. Maybe it's budgeting. I don't know what's going on. It needs its promotion. Besides becoming a singer, as a model, I always wanted to be a promoter because I'm very good with information. For example, I will use Michael Salgado did a Tejano singer. I'm a big fan of Michael Salgado. This is right after the Emilio Navarro's death, okay? I'm on Facebook. Was it yesterday morning? No, yeah, today's go. And Michael Salgado was in New York. I did a shout out to him on Twitter and also on my Facebook, my own page. My celebrity page. Big shout out on one, and I also mentioned that he need to contact Club La Boom. And I've been saying this Club La Boom for a long time because Club was a Latin club, and it's in Queens. So be careful going there. Y'all know it, but you know what I'm saying. And in Queens, New York, they have this Latin club, and on Sundays they have Mexican night, which they have banda, which I'm not into banda like Tejano and Norteño. So this was a couple years, like 2014, when I started getting to Instagram, and I contacted Michael Salgado, who we tweeted him before, and he tweeted back to me in the past, and I mentioned to Michael Salgado and to Club La Boom, they need to connect so he can be an artist, featured in their club. And I mentioned that again during his live. He was on live on Facebook, and people are, giving our comments to him. I mentioned you need to go to Club La Boom while you're in New York, and hopefully do it because he was on this with America. That's why he was in New York, and he, his family, his bandmates, his wife, and everybody else was on, on this on the screen and on the video, and so live video on Facebook. And if I had any money, I would connect the two together, and trust me, and with their promotion, that there will be money, because I always I have a different perspective. If you're an artist, and I was a promoter, I will contact, if I had any access, I would contact the club and say, hey, there's a new artist out there. He's a good artist. It's from Houston, and I think it'd be nice if you brought this artist to your club in order to perform. And I bet the people in New York would love his or her music. Right there, they would give the opportunity for the artist to be known. Plus, there's more money for the club, so they can get, especially if they have fans, if they hear them on YouTube or they hear them on whatever. So, and as a teenager, I used to see myself doing that, promoting people. So, and I know y'all right there say, exactly, you become a promoter. Exactly, okay. For example, when they had the video on Powder, Powder is one of the Latin rappers here in Texas. She's from, she's not the Latin version of Lil' Kim. She's from, saltwater city called Galveston. Mona Scott on Love and Hip Hop, and I don't know why she not followed through. She was going to do a Love and Hip Hop in Houston. Yeah, for real. So I made a video, and people who love Powder and Lifestyle and SPM was thumbs of my video saying that we need to put Powder on there, because I talked to Powder on MySpace before when folks were pretending to be her. I'm the one that snitched on those people to her, because she contacted me, said, excuse me, this is my page. The fake Powder page. I got new music, but this is actually 10 years ago. And I was in college. I'm going on MySpace, and I'm getting all the Powder fake sites on MySpace and getting it to her. She said, thank you, baby. That was me, okay? I talked to Powder, and I talked to Powder on Instagram. I talked to her on SoundCloud, and I want to, to be on part of her record label, Angelic Records. So because her name is Angela, so her business. That's why I call it Angelic Records. So, I'm a big fan of Lifestyle and Pancho V and Powder. So, I'm glad Pancho V got out of jail, so that's time, yeah. So by me telling, if I knew Mona Sky, I had connection with Mona Sky on VH1, if we can do, hip hop, loving hip hop in Hollywood, in Houston, she would have been a good act. She been in the business for a while, and I think that, and along with other people, Lil Kiki, we definitely get the people who've been rapping for years to be on, even Ghetto Boys, put them on Love and Hip Hop in Houston. Even me, because I've been trying to get, I would definitely love to be on the show. But that's what I'm saying. I like to connect the dots. So that's the reason why I did this to get Joshua Vargas not only credit in helping him out, even though that I didn't get no thank you at all, which I don't care. I can give him blessing from up above. I don't deserve to get it from someone who's not grateful for not, he don't owe me anything. But if I was an artist, and I am an aspiring artist myself, and someone saw me singing, I would definitely give that person props for trying to get me in, get me into the game, to get my foot in the door. I cannot be ungrateful to say, oh, this person took their time to do this. So exactly. So as a person who wants to become a promoter as well, I would definitely like to do that as well on the side. I'm getting to be old. I don't look 36, but I'll be 37 soon, and I definitely want to be trying to become an artist and a celebrity at 40-some years old. Some people can do it, but I'm so that's why I don't want to give up my dream. At the same time, I don't want to be gullible. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that dream big and don't make it all. So that's the reason why. Okay, so I just wanted you to know that that's all I have to say. I mean, make almost a 40-some-minute video about this, but to everyone who've been contacting me over the years over this video that happened in 2013, here's 2016. Thank you for contacting me, but I don't know Mr. Vargas at all, and I'm glad you gave me more detail about the story about the Wayne Henley and what's his name, Dean Coral situation. Hopefully I watched the movie. I know there's some people that want me supporting Josh Vargas, and it's not just to kiss nobody's ass. I don't kiss ass to anybody. I've been screwed up for that. But I'm here to just to see the story of the video. And if anyone wants, I tell anyone near serious out there, no disrespect, but if you feel that that story does not match up to what you know about, I will give a director, or if you directed the movie yourself, no offense, just so you can get a side story, because the whole idea of me doing that video, besides helping out Vargas and everything, I'm in Houston and I do want to know about this story. I know Hollywood sometimes. I'm not about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Hollywood. Like they did, for example, Straight Outta Compton. There were some things in Straight Outta Compton that was taken out of proportion. There was something that was not added in there that should have been added in the movie. Okay. One thing, and I thought about becoming a director before I finished this video. I would love to do a movie how I want to do it, and I will go by the facts and everything and every detail of the movie. Call me boring, I don't care. I'm a detailed person. I'm not with that cut up and summarize that's like taking egg out of cake. You know what I'm saying? Before you try to make it, you're not gonna have a good cake if you don't have eggs and you're making mixers. Man, I love to make cakes. I was supposed to make one today, and I fell asleep when I came from work. I don't like to add and exaggerate stories and stuff like that. That to me is fake, and I like to make sure the actor looks like the character. I'm very detailed because I want the people to see the perspective of the story. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it, make it real as possible. I hate when Hollywood does that. So try to summarize, take out things out that they need to be in the story. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I want the whole detail because I want the whole story that I can see how it happened. So that's the reason why. So hopefully in this movie that's coming up, I've seen on Facebook that the Madman's World is in making. They're showing episodes of it. So hopefully I can see it. I'm not trying to support Vargas personally. I can give a rat's ads if because I kind of feel cheated out. But it's okay. I'm not gonna even show no beef, no whatever. I just want to know about the movie, okay? But at the same time, for anybody that's out there that want to help Zacarias, get my name out there, hey, I'm going to give you props. I'm not going to sit here and you took your time to do that. I'm not going to act shady. I'm a Devo, not diva. I'm a Devo, but I have a Devo with a heart, okay? I'm a Devo with a heart. I'm not going to throw shade at anybody who does that. I don't throw shade to my haters. Y'all know I block my haters. I take out their evil comments toward me. I report to Google, YouTube. I snitch on them. I make videos and I'll dish you for it because you stupid enough to come in my channel. To, if I warn you, I don't tolerate that. Okay, so that's the reason why. But to anybody who's a true fans, all my subscribers, y'all, thank you. Okay, thank you for taking your time out to watch my videos, to put on your playlist. I'm not one of those people. One thing I know is when you're trying to become an artist or you are an artist, you do not show shade to your fans. That's the reason why you're in the industry. Besides God, if you do believe in him and I'm not going to bother you. I do. Okay? I'm not the perfect one in the world, but I do. So besides God and besides the fans, you would not exist in the entertainment industry and the people who out there busting their tail to help you. Okay? So I'm not one of those people who just I don't care. And if y'all have not heard me respond to your messages on my other videos, I do apologize. I have a lot of things going on right now. I'm making videos and I'm trying to work. I'm trying to take care of things. I'm doing plasma and I survive. I'm working 2 jobs. I live I'm a middle class young man, really in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get out. It's tremendous. Thank God I at least got a job, and I've been working at my job, my permanent job, for almost a year. Next 2 months, it'll be a year. So, therefore, I appreciate it that I do apologize if I have not responded to your messages you put on the video. I thank you for giving me good messages. If you have bad messages, I don't want to thank you for it. So, I'm not one of those people, saying who's going to throw shade and get mad or take away, put their video on private and get upset because, they like the video and they wanted to help me out. Nah, I'm not one of those people. So, but I will watch the movie, see the whole side of the story is because it is interesting from a Houstonian perspective. We need to know this type of stuff. I don't want to hear no more good old day stories that's bad things that people try to end it to make, to make our generation. Because the one thing that bothers me about as Generation X, Xer, the baby boom generation, before people them love to brag about the good old days, but refuse to talk about the bad things happen. If anyone knows that, for example, teenage pregnancy that's going on today, it's the reason why, because sexual revolution that happened in the 60s and 70s, Our generation, I was born out of the way, like myself, I'm born out of marriage. I myself was a product of that, So, product of the sexual revolution. My parents were not married, still not married to this day, and they're not together. They broke up when I was, prior to my birth. So that's the reason why, but we love to hear about the good old days and none of this stuff happened. That's the main reason why, hearing this story, we need to know about this stuff. I'm tired of hearing, there may be a good stuff for you as an individual who experienced that time, but not everybody experienced that time, especially, I'm not to bring up race, a person of color definitely experienced that time as good old days, after the civil rights movement, yeah, but, you probably, a good time, but you still had to deal with some issues after that. So, I just get tired of hearing that our generation are the worst generation, but their generation, they were going through these issues as well, and it was, snipped under the rug. This story here with Dean Corll killing and murdering and raping boys and stuff, does not need to be swept on the rug. We need to know about this situation, and it's sad that you hear stories of people who've been in sexual abuse when they were children, who are to be our grandpas and great-grandpas and grandmothers, and so what I'm saying. One particular person who, God rest her soul, what's her name? She's open for real, also sexual abuse as well. What's her name? Um, Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was raped, was sexual abuse. So and she's deceased. Okay, she was elderly when she died. So I hope people will stop saying this. This is a serious situation, and this is remember Dean Corey, why he got away with besides of the two guys who's involved is because he had showed up with the good man in the neighborhood and don't hurt a fly. Nah, don't trust nobody. Okay, please. I hope that people get the message of the story. I'm not the perfect one in the world, but I go by this scripture verse all the time for survival technique. St. Paul said as the finest in 3 Corinthians, not 3 Corinthians, excuse me, 4th Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, trying to say, a steward must prove to be trustworthy.